we begin? We begin with the fact that we have recently, released Jupyter X beta version, and the reaction to this release have been like crazy. But crazy in what way? It has been crazy in two different ways: crazy good and crazy bad, crazy happy people and crazy
Yeah.
angry people. Uh, and the thing is that I have to just take care of this Facebook as well. Yeah,
Oh my God, this is stressful. Three channels, social
yeah.
channels.
So just a second.
Does it?
Wait a second. Okay, I think we are also live on uh, Facebook as well. Guys, can you check to see if you're live on Facebook? Okay, before the Facebook friends join us, why do I say that it's been a mixed reaction from our community? Because some people find the freedom that Jupyter X gives them so much, and some people are so freaked out that they will what they will do with the existing legacy websites who are built with the older versions of Jupyter, who are built with Visual Composer and stuff. So with this mixed reaction of the community, Bob,
Yeah.
what do you think is the first thing that we should tell to our community to calm them down? Just a short sentence before we dig into the questions.
Well, Jupyter 6, or let's say legacy Jupyter, has built for 5 years ago for that time. And today we are in 2018, and I think Jupyter X will be serving for the next 5 years. This is what I can say based on technology and the user experience and many other things that we can talk about it in this session. I have already answered some of the questions in the blog post, but I will be very happy if anything more than that comes up, and I will be answering them.
Mhm. All right. So I'm going to start with the questions that we think that are very important for you. Some of them were asked by some of our users already, and some of them will be apparently asked during this streaming. And I'm going to start with the first question. That Bob, the migration from Jupyter 6 to Jupyter X is the topic of a lot of questions. People are worried if the migration will be smooth and seamless, and also they are curious to know if there will be a migration tool. We have already posted in the blog post that you have
Yeah.
written to announce this release. We have promised, actually, you have promised to provide this um, migration script
Yeah.
tool, whatever it is. But what it's going to be like? Will there be this migration tool, and how does it work? And will it migrate only the theme options or the Visual Composer built templates as well?
Well, migration is in two steps. Let me explain with the first one. For now, our plan is to develop a migration tool that will migrate the old theme options to the new customizer we have developed in Jupyter X. Of course, it won't be identical because the features Jupyter X offers maybe tenfolds. So we will just match the array of the options and see which of these features are kind of similar, and then we will migrate those settings. So you don't have to do these kind of things manually, but of
Mhm.
course you have to do some few final checks after that. Talking about the migrating Visual Composer to Elementor, this is something very complex because we have to do a lot of development for to achieve this. Both developing the content from another page builder to Elementor is a very daunting task. But what I can say, which is very easy, is will be make your life easier, is to make Jupyter X compatible with Visual Composer. So you will still be able to use Jupyter X with Visual Composer without having to migrate to Elementor. So you can use both Elementor and Visual Composer on your website, or use Visual Composer, or start progressively, slowly migrating to Elementor if you find it better and useful.
Okay. Thank you for the response. I hope that this has been the answer you've been looking for about the migration script. And the second most frequently asked questions, Bob, question is that can someone keep a Visual Composer uh, page builder as the default page builder, but migrate to the old theme options? The old theme options to
Jupyter.
customizer using the migration tool.
Yeah, I just answered this. Yes, this will be possible. This will be the easiest way for a lot of customers.
Mhm.
Of course, we are behind our products. We are not going to abandon Jupyter, legacy Jupyter. And as I mentioned in the post, we will keep, maintaining Jupyter for the next 2 years. This is a very long time. And after that, still we will be behind the product. Um, yeah, I think I answered this
Okay.
question.
And the third question is how long the Jupyter V6 and sites built with Visual Composer will be supported after release of Jupyter X? We have already answered this question
Yeah.
just to re-emphasize and to clarify things.
So 18 months we will be actively maintaining Jupyter, legacy Jupyter. For the last 6 months, we will be only maintaining security and minor bug fixes or any kind of compatibility plugin compatibility problems. After that, we are still behind the product. If we find that it's necessary to still be behind legacy Jupyter, we will decide that time. But you know, after 2 years for IT industry, it's a very long time. We see this kind of deprecating the products in many companies, and we have to see if Jupyter, legacy Jupyter, is still relevant after 2 years.
Okay, so 2 years for now,
Yeah.
and then we'll see about the rest. Uh, the latest question asked by one of our users in Artbees Team's blog is that thanks for
John Kobe.
hosting the Q&A. Yeah, John Kobe. Thanks for hosting the QA. I have a question I'd like to submit for the call. What do you recommend for someone who is about 50% complete developing a website using Jupyter 6? And I'm using advanced custom field or ACF quite a bit in the new site, so I'm tempted to make the jump to Jupyter X to take advantage of the integration. Not to mention, I'm ready to something better than WP Bakery for page design. What do you recommend when he is halfway done already?
Well, it depends to what is your website. If it's a kind of a big work, I would recommend to stay tuned for the next couple of weeks. Most probably, we are going to be stable with Jupyter in 2 to 3 weeks. But if your website is just a few pages, I mean, it will be very easy for you to migrate to Jupyter X. I just want to give you an example. We started migrating our 190 readily made templates that you can find in our website or in your control panel. We migrated all this to new Jupyter X with the Elementor page builder in just a matter of 45 days. Of course, there are like around 9 to 10, or I guess a little bit more than these. Some freelancers worked on this around the clock to deliver all these templates. But an experience from them, they could do this in just one template in a single day. So it can be a kind of a example for you that how long it takes. And of course, we are using advanced custom field in Jupyter X, the Pro version. So if you are kind of comfortable working with it, you have all the power. So it's a great thing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The other question is from Cormac uh, Donog, I guess, if I'm not wrong with the pronunciation. He says, "Can you update to X Jupyter X, maintaining the latest theme version and use it with VP Bakery latest version. I would be keen to do this as best practice or security. Why would X not be compatible with VP Bakery?
Of course, it will. I guess Comac did not read the post. Maybe we have updated the post recently, but we will have WP Bakery compatible with Jupyter X, and we will keep it updated for the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Arian has asked. Arian has been a little pissed off with Jupyter X release. I have seen a couple of comments from him. One of which was, personally, I'm disappointed that instead of improving the VC workflow, Visual Composer workflow, and bringing it on the bar with Salient or similar teams and Uncode, you just switch to Elementor. And I don't believe that improving Visual Composer front-end editing is not for everyone.
Well,
so I feel it's more clumsy than working on the back end. What do you think?
Yeah, guys, WP Bakery is a great plugin. It's a great website builder. I cannot say it's bad. Definitely, it's great. We thank the guys behind the plugin, but one of the wrong steps, or maybe that time it had to be like that, was to develop the page builder with shortcuts. This creates a lot of problems. One of them is it creates shortcut hell. When you deactivate the Visual Composer, you end up with a lot of shortcuts, which we call this shortcut hell. You cannot do anything with it. But Elementor doesn't have that. If you deactivate, your content will be unstyled, but still you will have the content. So it's not you are not kind of locked to a page builder. This is one thing. And second, unfortunately, shortcuts are not built for that kind of amount of, a page builder that is using tons of shortcuts. It's highly CPU. It used a lot of CPU, and it's slow. So even, we don't own this plugin, so we cannot improve its workflow. We cannot improve it a lot. And also we have started to see that the guys behind Visual Composer, they started to develop another plugin outside Envato, and they switched their attention. And surprisingly, they are using the same kind of method that Elementor is using, which is switching from shortcuts to a custom way to preserve the content.
Okay.
And just one last thing, Arian says that it feels better to work on the back end. I wouldn't say it's your opinion, but many users. Elementor, since it started, its initial release, or even there are other Beaver Builder and other page builders. A few million people started using these builders, and I'm checking their community. I see that working with the front end is much better. Maybe if you give it a try for a couple of days, you will see that this back and forth, saves, refresh in the front end, save and refresh in the front end, this kind of reducing your speed of website building, and it's a very bad experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay, someone on Instagram says it's very slow. I don't know if it's about the streaming
Elementor?
or it's about the Elementor. It's Shamsi Zada, I guess.
Yeah.
So what do you think this happens for some users? Is there something
is it about Elementor? Well, if you ask me why Elementor is slow, some people they say that it's slow. There are some blog posts that is written that compares some page builders, and Elementor is one of the slowest ones. In case of using how many queries they use or how many database connections they have. Well, I could say that those plugins that they use shortcuts, the benchmark tools that they check the performance, they don't see shortcuts as as the plugins built-in features. So that's why they don't show it as a resource consumption. So it's kind of a misleading thing. We have checked this, of course. And also, Elementor is very, very robust. So as much as you add to Elementor, to a software, that much you have to a little bit compromise the speed. But this speed can be fixed by just activating any caching plugin. The real speed, I would say, in the speed and experience, I would say, is while you're building the website. That matters. If you work with Visual Composer and then switch to Elementor, you would definitely see this. I don't have to explain it.
Okay. Thank you. So let's have a look at the comments on our YouTube streaming page. By the way, guys, I know that there are problems with the streaming page that we have scheduled in advance. For some reasons that it's not happening. It didn't happen through that page for technical glitches apparently from YouTube, and then we had to open a new streaming page. I'm so sorry with that. We tried to announce it through social channels that we are running this to another streaming page, but it's already filled with comments from different people here on YouTube page. Aaron Riedel says there are people. Okay, yeah, I know, Aaron. I'm sorry about that. I explained the situation, and I guess Terry Perick says, "Do you provide services to migrate sites, and how much for a simple website?" Sorry if answered was in the other stream before refresh.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we can answer this.
So yeah, we are considering this as an option, maybe a premium migration service for those who do not want to mess with the migration. We, of course, try to make the migration process as seamless and as easy as possible for everyone without paying extra fees. But in case the person behind the website is not someone who is comfortable with anything related to developing or managing the website backend, they can just hire some of Artbees experts and they will get this done for them. But this is in progress. We have not yet decided about the details. We definitely consider this, and once the details are clear, we will run it through Artbees Care, as you know, our custom modification service, and then you can enjoy that service. I hope that this has answered your question, Terry. Somebody says hello everyone again. Also for those who have just joined us on Instagram, YouTube, and okay. The other question that I see here is, okay, yeah, most of them apparently is. Okay, I have a question about Elementor. Elementor has about 750,000 users. I love no shortcodes when you deactivate.
Yeah, I just mentioned this. I love to.
Yeah. And what do you recommend in case for a site? Okay, I guess this is Jonathan. We already answered your questions. I guess you also posted your question on the blog. Thanks for asking it again. The other question, somebody says, Kathy Lorkin says, interested in how to migrate to Jupyter. I guess this has been discussed a couple times, but maybe she has just joined this show. So how do you summarize this quickly for her?
So definitely the hardest one is just do it manually by because you have the website, you can open a staging website, and by looking into the design, you can build a website from scratch. It's not so much work because you have the images, you have the text, you have the style, the look and feel of your website. It will be much easier. But for those who don't want to do this, we still want to develop and release a migration tool that will help them to, at least to some extent, maybe we can say 70% of the manual changes done automatically for you, and then you can take over and do the rest of the changes. Or you can still use JupyterX with Visual Composer without migrating your even the page builder, if you don't like to migrate to Elementor.
Okay. Thank you again for asking, Kathy. Baby Driver says, better mobile menu have been asked for a long or lot, but it looks like Elementor. Okay, thanks for renaming Elementor like that. Elementor doesn't offer anything too great. Do you guys plan on still improving mobile menus?
Well, in Raven, which is our add-on for Elementor, we have header builder, and also we have menu, element, which has which is very very robust. Your mobile menu has a lot of settings and stylings. You have to work with it and see to what extent you can change it. Definitely, we thought a lot, thought a lot about it, and it offers a huge amount of customizabilities. Um, Elementor offers this, but you have to pay for their pro.
Mm-hmm. Okay. By the way, Bob, maybe you should give a look to the Instagram
Yeah.
followers there as well from time to time. We got you guys here. Thanks for being with us. And the other question is from Enzo Apetachicha. I'm sorry if I'm not right with the pronunciation. He says, when can we expect the official release, not the beta?
Well, we plan mid-November.
Mid-November.
Yeah.
Okay. So stay tuned for that date, guys. And then I guess, Kathy, again, is there a link to how to migrate sites? I have seen too many themes lose customers by leaving early adopters behind when you create the next big thing. Yeah, I think this is the same topic. We definitely want to take care of the existing customers, guys. Migration as seamless and as smooth as possible. No extra fees, no extra payments. This is our goal, okay? And we are sure that we will do great with that. With your support and patience, we will make sure that your existing sites will be delivered, will be migrated to the new version without a problem. Just be patient. And I guess, Baby Driver, that misspelling wasn't intentional. Oh, okay. That was creative. Yeah, you called Elementor Eliminator. Yeah, maybe some people can empathize, but it's not going to happen. Just make sure that it's not going to happen. Kaz or Kuz says mobile menu really needs more optimization. Options with new Jupyter. We've had the same mobile menu on Jupyter Legacy forever. That's true. Yeah, just like Bob said, we will take care of this. We will make the mobile menu options more and more over time. Just stay tuned with that. And then Kathy keeps posting. Thank you. She says, I see a little need for them to create a separate page builder. Elementor already has 750. Okay, Kathy, trust me, we don't need another page builder. Let's let Elementor grow and thrive, because they have already thrived and they have expanded to more than a million, apparently 2 million, right? Yeah. So the users over the course of 2 years, and they are doing great. They are open source, they're GPL. I have seen them in person, great guys. And there might be problems and shortcomings in any page builder, any software, but over time, with them listening to their community, I'm sure they will make it even close to your ideals.
Should we talk about licensing of Jupyter?
Let's see if we can keep up with the question flow already, and then we will introduce a new topic. So, okay, where did I left? What about
custom post type that are available?
Yeah. What about custom post types that were available in the Jupyter 6? Is it possible for you to give a tutorial on how to create portfolio custom post type? The question is from Saravanshu.
Yeah. Well, post types has been misused in Jupyter, legacy Jupyter, because back in time we didn't have a better way of repeating creating iteration in an element, which Elementor offers. So we chose not to add a lot of post types, and these post types create a lot of server resources. So about migrating from, we will develop a plugin that will keep the post types in JupyterX, so you can start manually migrating those post types to Elementor, if I can answer your question correctly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Saravanshu, let us know if that answered your question. Just having a look at the Instagram questions. Sina is asking, are you looking for making a footer builder? Apparently,
we have.
Sina, if you check the
we have sidebar builder, archive, shop archive builder, You can build anything that is dynamic. Or it can be a fragmented block, which fragmented blocks can be sidebar, header, footer, archive pages. They all can be custom designed and changed. Yep, it's these all are possible.
Yeah. So, it's like JupyterX is built to build, right? You can
It's a
build pretty
design
much,
tool.
yeah, it's a design tool. You can build pretty much everything that you want. Header builder, footer builder, archives page, special pages, 404 maintenance. Pretty much every integral part of a typical WordPress layout can be created
Yeah.
and modified with JupyterX. So if you dig into the JupyterX, you will see the footer builder as well. Back into the YouTube questions, we have that much question that I cannot answer the questions. We cannot answer questions we have written in advance. So let's continue on the questions on YouTube. What's the timeline looks like for release of X? Just like we said, it's going to be on mid-November, guys. Apparently November 15. And somebody says, Luke Richardson says also, will it be possible to use multiple templates? Jupyter only allowed one template at a time. Will Elementor allow multiple templates that are from the Jupyter team, Bob?
I don't understand
So
templates. What do you mean by multiple
maybe
templates?
we had one template activated at a time.
Well, when we call template, it's a little bit jargon. Templates are basically they are readily made websites, example websites. So you don't have to waste your time designing and developing. So we offer these templates for free, so you don't have to start from scratch. Yep. I don't know if you clarify this. I would be happy to answer.
Yeah, if you need more explanation on this, please post your questions and clarify. I guess Martin Ardanas says, I thought we would see something of the new JupyterX working and migration processes, in addition to your faces, which is also interesting. That was a nice compliment, or I don't know, comment. But yeah, actually, we also wish that was the case, but we don't have that right now. We don't have something presentable. We are working hard, not just us, everyone inside Artbees team working so hard to make this happen. So when there is something to show about, the migration script or software, be sure that we will share sneak peeks, just like we did in advance about JupyterX. So the other question is from Kathy. He says, Corey was saying you should build your own. I'm agreeing with you. You mean our own page builder? If that's the case, what do you have to say about that, Bob?
Well, I'm a developer. Actually, developed the original Jupyter back then 5 years ago. As someone who has technical understanding of softwares, and when I look back, developing a plugin is one of, such in like a website builder or page builder is a very, very long-term project. You have to see if market needs such products, while there are some very, very good alternatives. We had a good connection with Elementor guys, and we have seen their code. It's open source. People are contributing to it. A lot of people are contributing, and it has a very live community. Why we have to develop something that we find amazing? We find it amazing, so we just stick with something that reinventing the wheel.
Yeah. Also, Corey says that I never said such a thing. I never said they should build their own page builder. Thanks, Corey and Kathy. Okay, Baby Driver, thanks for holding the QA. Thank you too, Baby Driver. Thanks for joining this.
About Gutenberg, somebody's asking about.
Yeah,
Gutenberg.
let's see. The next question is templates are examples. Okay, got it. Thanks. Thank you too. Corey says, nice music in the... Yeah, that's a prayer call that we had no control over running it. Okay, the other question is, again, from Corey. I did not want them, I guess. Thank you for clarification, Corey. I got it. Saravanshu says, I guess this is the clarification you were seeking. Are there any plans to have a white label theme like Elementor?
Jupyter X is developed with that notion that you can make it white labeled very, very easily. We will just develop a very small plugin available in Control Panel that if you activate it, all the branding features will be removed without a problem.
Okay, yeah. So the other question, so Kathy says, sorry, Corey, it was Baby Driver, ignore the discussion. That's fine, guys, you fix it among yourself. Baby Driver, thank you for your comments. And Baby Driver asked for the label plans, just like Bob said, yes, we had that in the plan, it's going to happen. And then Kathy says, how...
Someone asked about Gutenberg.
This is also about Gutenberg as well, yeah. Kathy also asks, how will Gutenberg affect Jupyter?
It's a mystery. It's really a mystery. Gutenberg is a great page builder, but if you ask my own opinion, it's solving a problem. How to explain? It's kind of a little bit technical. I prefer not to share.
You don't like Gutenberg?
Well, I like it, but
just kidding. Okay, go ahead.
If anyone is interested to know if it's compatible, of course it's compatible. You don't have to do anything. If you want to use Gutenberg, you're welcome. You can use it. There are some plugins that started to adopt its features. Today I saw something from Advanced Custom Fields, which they started adding their custom blocks, which is a great thing. Maybe you guys check their blog and see what Gutenberg what they offer for Gutenberg. Other than that, if you don't want to build a page with Visual Composer, or let's say WP Bakery or Elementor, you can do it with Gutenberg. Why not? There is no problem with it, and there won't be any conflicts whatsoever.
Okay, thank you for the response, Bob. Nick Kebab from Instagram says, excited about the transition. I think you guys are making an excellent move. Thank you so much, Nick. This will really, we really need your support on this, and thanks for sharing your feedback. Okay, back to YouTube. We have like this comment from, I guess, Enzo. Quite a few options that were available in Jupyter 6 theme options are missing from Customizer. Will these be implemented back?
Some of them, yes. We have about 20 to 30% of the features will be added after public release. Due to time constraints, we had to cut down some of those features. Some of them, no, because some of them we believe that has to be removed. We have seen not much of our users are using those features, or they are simply not anymore relevant. We don't see any usage of that in 2018 and afterwards. So we removed them.
Yeah, and how about Saravanshu asks, how about the minification and compression tools that you used to have in Jupyter 6? Will there be available in X as well?
Well, Jupyter X is I don't want to talk a lot about this. There are some good news, but we prefer not to share it now. Maybe in a week or so, we will talk about it. But just to give you a little bit of information about the quality of the theme and how it compresses or optimizes the static assets, which is important for fast website loading. Jupyter X compiles CSS and JavaScript on the runtime. It means we don't compile it while we develop and then we serve a CSS file. There are less files, which we call them pre-processors. There are other format of development, code development methods that they become compiled to CSS or JavaScript files. So if you check, if you are a developer, if you check the demos, you will see that all the assets are compiled and they're to a single file. Just a good example would be Jupyter X styles are 500 kilobytes. Jupyter gzipped is 100 kilobytes. So it's a lot of improvement in Jupyter X in that case. And still, we did not do some optimizations that shouldn't be inside the theme. So if we don't take some of those features, grabbing those features from caching, plugging, and putting them built in, because themes are not for that purpose. So you can just simply buy or install a plugin. Maybe WP Super Cache plugin would do the job, a free plugin, and make Jupyter X fast. Or you can use other WP Rocket, which is my favorite, and make Jupyter X fast instantly.
Okay, Sarvanshu, I hope that Bob has answered your question. Kathy says Gutenberg compatibility is good to know that, and it's good to know that you are taking it into account. You're welcome. We're as excited. And again, she says, will you be doing a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal again? Kathy, we don't know. You never know. Black Friday is nothing but a surprise. So let's see if you're going to have one. We hope we will have, but nothing is clear about that yet. But thanks for asking. Luke Richardson says, yes, built-in minification or compression. Will there be features to help pass Google mobile friendly tests?
It's up to you, because Google does not, Jupyter X is a design tool. Every single thing is changeable. You can build, and it's like Photoshop of website builders. So it depends on what kind of scales and images and buttons and icons you're using, which is clickable in the finger size, so it becomes compatible, or let's say compliant with the Google mobile friendliness benchmark. So it's up to you. And we didn't take care of this because we don't have anything preset. So it's up to you to make it compatible.
Okay, Bob. Baby Driver says with X, you guys are removing the theme options, moving to the native customizer. For folks who stay with WP Bakery, how will we edit the header and footer styles now?
Well, you can still use Elementor and at the same time Visual Composer without a problem. Of course, you will have maybe a couple of hundred or 250 kilobytes of assets to be added to your site, to your site size. But in today's internet, it's not much to think about. So you can still use Elementor and Visual Composer in one website.
Okay, and Kathy is asking if you can publish a blog post about the features as a roadmap. Features roadmap. Do you think this is a possible thing to do?
Features.
A roadmap for features, like the features we're gonna give in the next 1 year, for example.
Okay, actually, we will do this in GitHub, and everyone will see our roadmap. It will be public. Soon you guys will know some news that is about that, and you guys will actually help us to develop Jupyter together. If you have pull requests, if you have bug reports, you can do it there, and you will still will see most of our roadmap and in which stage it is.
Okay, Kathy. So I hope this is an answer to your question. It's going to happen, hopefully.
Clear theme cache. Okay, this is good.
Yeah, Luke Richardson, will clear theme cache feature come back? I notice this is not in beta.
Well, clear theme cache was, it was something to fix a problem. It's not a feature. If you we had something and we had to put a button there, but because we no longer have such a thing like a built-in caching, we don't need it. We we kind of gave this kind of functionalities to plugins because they can take care of it much better than us. We are not going to mess around with their features.
Okay, thank you, Bob. The other question is, Kathy says the video is getting some weird flickering, but they can still see us. I'm so sorry about that, guys. And trust me, running a live show is the most difficult job in the world, especially also more and more difficult than Jupyter X development and release. So I know this kind of things is maybe because we are not experienced enough with this kind of things. We are not a media company, as you know, but we will get better over time. We have already equipped the light and set up the light and the stuff, but yet apparently there's some problems, the conflict that makes this flickering happening in the camera. Hopefully we're going to take care of that. Sarah Vansha says, way to create new widgets area. Are you planning to add this feature to X?
Okay, it will be in customizer or even in the backend and appearance under widgets. There will be a section you can add it from there. It's not yet added to Jupyter X in beta 1, but we will definitely release it, added it until the public release.
Okay, thank you. Salam says, I guess the same thing, maybe the flickering problem. We hope that it's going to get better, guys, but seriously, we don't know if what is this the thing that causes this flickering right now. And so I'm currently planning to develop a client site using X beta. Will it be a good idea to create it now or wait for the actual?
You can do it now. About 50 freelancers and some of them our permanent members used our current Jupyter beta to migrate 190 templates. So we don't have any problem whatsoever. So you can do this. In beta 2 and the release candidates, there will be more of improvements and bug fixes, which won't have any problem with your website development.
Okay, then go ahead and start your project, man. By the way, Dale says, Dale or Dale Musful says you just fixed the flicker. Really? I don't know what did I do. I'm just here doing nothing. But thanks God it's fixed. Okay, back to the questions. Corey Lamb says, in response to Kathy, apparently, Web Savvy PR, GitHub sometimes has wikis on the devs project, so you can still read that even if you don't use GitHub to get files. Okay, that's an advice from Corey to Kathy. I hope you find it useful, Kathy. Okay, and then that's it for now. Let's see, what do we have on Instagram? Somebody on Instagram says, Nihilist says, hi, genius guys. No, we're not. We're just a couple of friends doing something to make your websites, make it possible to build great websites. I just wonder if Jupyter works on something to help to design websites for blind or visually impaired, deaf, or disabled visitors. Great questions. Thank you, Nicholas.
Not yet, but as I mentioned in our blog post, we have it's in our top priority to do this. It's not an easy job to do, but because of some specifications, and we want to be compliant with that in the next couple of months or 2-3 months. Definitely, you will see that is coming to Jupyter X.
Okay, thank you, Bob. I think John says that his question that he posted on the blog post is not properly answered. He says, I reposted my question in the stream, but it was missed in the discussion. John, if you are watching this right now, if you think, I don't know when you posted this comment, maybe you have got the answer after you posted it. If not, please post it again on YouTube or Instagram, and Bob will definitely answer it. So back to the YouTube. Sarah Wancha says, that's great to know. And then can you please state which features will be discontinued on Jupyter X? tinyplanet.co. Can you please let them know about this?
Sorry, which one?
which features will be discontinued on Jupyter X?
Discontinued. Definitely, we want. Well, there are. I don't remind, but let's say post types, custom post types, except portfolio won't be there. What else? I mean, Jupyter X is 10 times more customizable, more futuristic. There are some features that we don't have it yet, and maybe we don't plan it. We have to see if it's a lot of people are asking for it. One of them is actually mega menu. Mega menu is something that maybe even 0 point some percent of the customers are using. Mega menu that is full of menus and that you can see in our default live demo. This is something that we thought you guys can take advantage of some plugins that does this, such as mega menu. If you're an advanced user, you want to use mega menus, you better use Uber menu, which is very famous. Just today, we have in our development team, we made it 100% compatible with Jupyter X, and anything that might need some legwork. We have done all this, so you just need to purchase Uber menu, and it has tons of features, tons of customizabilities. So there are some features, but I don't remember to mention it now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Baby Driver says, man, God bless the people who had to migrate 190 templates for you. Exactly. Thanks for mentioning it, Baby Driver. You have no idea how much of work for us it has been, but we did it. And the good news is that it's been almost done, like 90%, right? 90% of this thing is done. And a group of people, expert designers and developers, have been working tirelessly over the past 1.5 months, let's say, to migrate as much as possible. But we didn't even expect that we're gonna migrate the entire template base.
They also beta tested, they beta tested our product because they were working with every feature. So we are kind of feeling comfortable and relieved that Jupyter X is something good.
Yeah. And Martin Ardanas says, we will try Jupyter X beta. We will see how it goes. Definitely, Martin, we can't wait for your feedback. Kathy says, what questions did you prepare to answer? Okay, this is the list of questions that I prepared to answer. Most of them are already asked by some people, but I thought it may be your question as well. Now that we are almost, we almost, I guess, caught up with the questions you asked on social media. No. Okay, we have a new question on Instagram. Put some light on BPML compatibility and migration of multilingual Jupyter 16 to Jupyter X.
Just today, we have finished it. And BPML is now 100% compatible with Jupyter X. Plus, you can have multiple versions of your customizer in every language. So you can change the styling of your website in different languages. You can change your logo in different language, or anything, pretty much anything in the customizer. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm. And Sonny Trochniak.
And by the way, we have made this feature not only for WPML, also to Polylang. So we support two multilingual plugins.
Oh, two major multilingual plugins we support. Sonny Trochniak, one of our great users, we have already interviewed him in Artbees Themes blog, has said, how does this work with Elementor Pro? And I guess this is a question for many. How Jupyter X will work with Elementor Pro? Is it free? Is it included? They have to pay, or they should not?
Guys, Elementor Pro and any other add-on that is developed for Elementor will work with Jupyter X natively without anything. For example, we also use Jet Elements add-on in Jupyter X, but Pro is, not only just because you need Pro, but also to support the development of Elementor Pro. They have developed the plugin for free, everyone to use. So I think we have to, give back a favor so they can actually continue their development, right?
Yeah.
So they have great features. If you check, we have decided not to kind of intersect some of their features we could actually develop inside Raven, but we decided to keep their market as there and keep ours as we use. Even if we use Jupyter X in our website, we will definitely use Pro and we will pay for it. I think it's it's a one-off purchase theme, and imagine there is a big number of people who are working behind these products. So in order to keep the support of these products, we need to just the amounts that we pay to Jupyter or Elementor is not much.
Yeah, guys, we have 10 minutes left from this session, so let's see how much of more questions we can answer. Karam thanked us in Artbees Themes blog. He says, massive pain in the ass if you've just started a new project with Jupyter, realizing you're essentially building something out of date already. However, super happy to be getting a new theme that's going to be more up to date, faster, and efficient. I recently was looking into Elementor over Visual Composer for a bespoke project, thinking that it looked much better, and now you've solidified that for me. Looking forward to that official release of Jupyter X. Thank you, Tukam. I'm so happy. We're so happy that you found it good, and I'm sure that you're gonna like it better when you work with the final product. Arian has asked, is Elementor also faster in front end? We had a discussion,
Yes, it is.
however.
It is. Soon I will actually write a blog post that it compares with a very realistic way of comparing speed. If you guys check our blog post, I have posted a speed, something about the speed that realistically showing that some of these numbers like Google page speed is not really showing your website speed. There are other metrics, real metrics that you have to see. And Elementor, yes, I as a developer, I'm very happy about this, that it's also faster on the front end. Of course, you have to use a caching plugin because anything without caching plugin will not be as fast as you can hope for it.
And Baby Driver says, I purchased Pro already, extra features and support for company to continue making. Thank you, Baby Driver. We recommend all you guys to do the supporting the way that you can, which is buying Elementor Pro. You will definitely find the Elementor Pro features very useful. However, we have included some of the features that you can get with Elementor Pro inside Jupyter X native features already. So you're going to like this, but there's still definitely a lot of good things that you can find only in Elementor Pro. Corey says, when will next beta be released?
Next week, most probably on Tuesday.
Okay, so stay tuned for next week, Tuesday, Corey. Baby Driver says, will all the current Jupyter blog feed styles transfer over as well, like modern, classic, teaser, etc.?
If you check Elementor, Raven, our add-on, we have a post element which you have the option to choose post or portfolio post type. You can basically build your loop style, so everything is customizable, masonry, or put the text inside the image, or however you imagine. Of course, you cannot get this exact same look of, to some extent, as we have in Jupyter 6, because they were kind of handcrafted or custom styled. But now you have the full capability to build any kind of loop. And if you say that, no, I want the old one, it's up to you. You can in 2018 and afterwards, there are some stuff that we decided not to add, maybe because our product designers said that it's not something anymore relevant as a design aesthetic for future.
Okay. Somebody says, I guess Jessica says, we're in the Jupyter X live stream and remembered we never received an API key to test beta to be able to see the locked settings in Jupyter X control panel. I think they're doing a mistake to
You can
use.
ask us in support, in our support. You can ask us in the chat, in intercom chat, and our team, they have a bunch of API keys to give you. Anyone who wants to test, we will provide it, so you can ask.
Okay, let's see if there is something in YouTube. I guess. Are you planning to create a Jupyter X Facebook group? Great suggestion, Saravan Show. We have been planning for this for a long time, and now Jupyter X release will give us the motivation to do this finally. But I expect you to be there and maybe moderate that group for us. Thanks for suggesting. That's in the list. We will do this definitely in the coming weeks after the final release. Also, he says it can help getting quick answers and contact with fellow Jupyter X freelancers. Definitely, yeah, that's a great place to have different discussions around Jupyter. Also, you know that we have an active forum, guys. You know that you can do the same there as well. But Facebook is for Facebookers, and forum is for those who are interested in forums. Definitely. Kathy supported the idea of Facebook group, and apparently that's it. I think we have got all the answers. Let me check again for the last time the stream page on Instagram. Yeah, we're almost done with this, guys. I'm sorry for those who have not been able to see this stream from Facebook. We will definitely investigate to see what went wrong, but it's not going to happen again, hopefully. And thank you for bearing with us with the light flicker and stuff that happened. It was very, very useful for us. It definitely reflected the amount of excitement and interest that you guys have about the Jupyter X. I hope that the answers that Bob and maybe me sometime provide for your questions was good enough. We definitely want to keep this discussion going, without which we can never improve our products. Jupyter X is not a product ideated by us, the team members in Artbees. It's by the community, you guys. Some last comments. Kaz says, great work doing this. Shows you care about your customers. Definitely, Kaz. And we look forward even to more. And, get the feedback from you. We can do interviews with you guys. We can, I don't know, survey you guys, and we will do definitely. But Corey Lamb said, well said. And I think that's it. Looking forward to Jupyter X. We here are looking forward to that as well, guys. So thank you again for joining us. I'm giving you salute and greetings next to Bob, with my friend. And we look forward to release the final Jupyter X in coming weeks, and see about the real excitement and feedback from you guys. Thanks for joining, and have a good time.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm gonna say the same thing to our great followers on Instagram as well.